Hello YouTubers, Alaska Prepper here. Listen, I'm not going to be looking right at you because I'm driving right now. I just finished dropping off Little Miss Alaska Prepper to school, and I have something very important to talk to you about. So obviously the title of the video, you're wondering, AP, what's going to happen tomorrow? Is it the end of the world? No, ladies and gentlemen, I have to admit, I don't do it all the time, but I think that maybe was a little bit of clickbait, but it's to prove a very good point. So the video that I put out yesterday, I believe it was yesterday's video, but somebody left a comment on there saying you need to stop scaring people. And, you know, I figured that using September 23rd would be a great part of the title, because I've been hearing, and I'm sure that you have as well, ladies and gentlemen, you've probably been hearing all of this thing around September 23rd of 2023. Something really bad is going to happen tomorrow. What it is, I have no idea. It would be kind of ironic if something crazy did happen tomorrow, but you haven't heard me talk about September 23 because I just don't think there's anything that we can do about what's going to happen tomorrow, either or, except to be prepared. Now, let me go ahead and address a comment that someone made. I think it was on yesterday's video, but they said, you have to stop scaring people. Ladies and gentlemen, if you are scared, number one, then that means that you're not prepared. Because I can tell you what, right now, it may be a very big inconvenience to me, but right now, if there were an EMP and my vehicle stopped right now, I know what to do. I have to go get my daughter, obviously, and we have to hike it back to the house, which is a bit of a hike, but we will get there. We would get there, you know, within the day before it gets dark. We'll get there. So I know what to do. Am I scared of there being an EMP? Nope, I'm not. And is there anything that I can do against there being an EMP or a coronal mass ejection from the sun? There's absolutely nothing that I can do. So why would I be scared about it when I personally feel that I'm prepared for it, at least to the best of my extent? So if you're scared because of some of the things that I bring to you, some of the warnings that I bring to you about what's happening or what's going to happen, then it means that you're not prepared. All right, ladies and gentlemen, and if you're prepared and you're still scared, maybe you ought to take a break and go back to watching the mainstream media so that they can fill you with fluff, make you feel good, and you can put on your rose-colored glasses all over again and then just walk the line that they want you to walk. I'm not here to scare anyone, ladies and gentlemen. I more so would like to think that I'm here to empower you by giving you what I see that's going on in the world, and also talking with you about how you can get prepared to overcome these challenges that are coming. Because whether you think that what I say is scary or not, what's going to happen is going to happen. Now, let me see. If you weren't prepared, you would be scared to know about what I talked about in yesterday's video, that there is going to be a food crisis, a food shortage crisis in the world, and that it is happening right now. And that the way that we are seeing it here in the Western nations is by seeing that the prices are escalating. Because you see, the price of things are affected, in my opinion, I'm not an expert, by two different things. By the inflation in the monetary supply, which makes prices go down, or by supply and demand. And sometimes both of those forces act upon the prices of things at the same time, which makes it worse. For example, look at the price of diesel, how it's been shooting straight up, ladies and gentlemen. Is that just because of supply and demand? Or is that because of inflation, because the government has printed so much money? I would say that it's both. It's because of supply and demand, because Russia stopped exporting diesel, because Saudi Arabia, they went ahead and lowered their oil output by, I think it was 1 or 2 million barrels per day. And it's because the U.S. government, i.e. the Federal Reserve, has been printing money like there's no tomorrow for the last few years. Now, does that scare you? Does it scare you that I'm telling you the truth? And if you are scared, then you are not prepared, and you better get prepared. You know, fear sells. And I just wonder if the person who left that comment, I just wonder if they went to the mainstream media sites and told the mainstream media in the last 2 or 3 years, hey, you need to stop scaring people. When so many people were scared to the point that they gave up their businesses. where so many people were scared to the point where they went ahead and took something that they otherwise would not have taken had they thought about it. Where so many people were scared to the point that they let their mothers and grandmothers die in an old folks home by themselves because someone told them, you shouldn't be next to them, it's not safe. Did you go back to the mainstream media? And listen, I have no idea who said this comment. Whenever I do a video like this that has to do with a comment that someone left on a video, I try not to even look at the name or even remember it, all right? Because I'm not bashing on any one person. I'm bashing on the ideology that that person must have to think that I'm trying to scare you. All right, ladies and gentlemen, you know why? Because that ideology will spread. And people that are scared and they don't prepare, they're going to be the first ones that are going to look back and say, man, that guy wasn't trying to scare me. He was just trying to give me some information that would allow me to better prepare, i.e. Alaska prepper, right? Prepper. But without this information that most people don't get, because most people watch the mainstream media, without the thumbnails that are a little bit catchy, that make people, hopefully, that would never have clicked on that channel, click on it just to see what it's about. Maybe it gets them to come on board with the mentality that, hey, listen, this guy is goofy, he's trying to scare the living hell out of me, but let me just go and do a little bit of research just in case what he's saying has a little bit of validity to it. Should you not be scared that if you're not prepping, should you not be scared that the government is allowing the southern border to be 100% open, and that most of the people, go look this up for yourself, ladies and gentlemen, look this up for yourself, and that most of the people coming through are military age males? Should you not be scared about that? All right? Should you not be scared that the government is printing so much money that all of the other countries around the world have caught on to this? We here in the United States, the citizenry of the United States, I would say for the most part, are probably the only citizens around the world of a nation that doesn't know to the extent what the government is doing to our money. All they do is bitch about how inflation is getting worse and how the cost of living is getting worse, but they don't bother to look into why. That's the question that we have to ask ourselves. Why is it getting worse? Why do I have to work more hours in order to buy the same stuff? Why do I you know how much money I spent yesterday on a haircut for my daughter? Yes, she went all the way. She got the color, you know, a little bit of color. I don't like that blue stuff, but she got a little bit of color. She's got long hair. She went all the way. Ladies and gentlemen, yesterday I paid in excess of $400. But people don't ask why. Well, I know why. Yes, I still paid it, you know, because, you know, how do I justify paying $400 for my daughter to get her hair done, whatever it is? Well, she only does like maybe once every year and a half. So I have no problem doing it. But the point and the fact of the matter is this, is that most people don't ask why. Why is it that much? All they do is complain that it is that much. Ladies and gentlemen, today's video is sponsored by Genesis Gold Group. I am not a financial advisor, but I do recommend that you do your own research on how you can retain more of your purchasing power in a time in history when, in my opinion, inflation is ravaging the savings of the average person who's worked all their life in hopes of putting away enough money to retire with dignity. That is why I champion Genesis Gold Group and others who are in the business of helping those who are ready to convert some of their fiat currency into real money. If you give Genesis Gold Group a call, you can decide, ladies and gentlemen, whether you want to take delivery of your precious metals or whether you want to transfer some of your IRA retirement into a precious metals IRA. Either way, Genesis Gold Group is there to help you decide what is good for you. Now, ladies and gentlemen, Genesis Gold Group may not like that I'm saying this, especially since they're paying me. But I believe in competition, and you should look at many different options when it comes to your wealth. So take a look at the link in the description of the video or the phone number and give Genesis Gold Group a call, and they will guide you through any decision that you make for yourself. And I want to say thank you very much, Genesis Gold Group, for sponsoring this video. Why don't you concentrate on getting prepared, staying prepared, waking other people up that they need to be prepared? Because what's coming is coming. No matter what I say, no matter what anybody says, what's coming is coming. All right? And it just happens to be that it is the experts that are saying that we are headed towards a major worldwide food crisis. I am just parroting what the experts have already figured out. And through doing a little bit of my own research and seeing that we have entered into a grand solar minimum, I have also come to my own conclusion to think that, hey, maybe our harvest of crops is not going to be as good as it has been in the past. Hey, maybe because the government is so irresponsible with the way that it prints money and the way that it dishes out entitlements to people that aren't even legal residents of the United States, maybe because of that, I probably ought to protect myself a little bit with some gold and silver. And maybe I ought to share that with whoever wants to listen to it here on YouTube. Ladies and gentlemen, I guarantee you that if you're not preparing, you are going to feel the blunt of what's coming. So I hope that you stop complaining about being scared and start doing something so that you don't have to be scared. So that there has to be no anxiety in your life in wondering, how am I going to feed my children? All right, ladies and gentlemen, stop complaining about it and do something about it. Okay? Again, I apologize. I'm driving over here, okay? But I am being safe. Let's see, what else can we talk about? I did record this video on Friday when I took my daughter to school, but since I already had a live stream planned for Friday afternoon, and I also had a video that I put out Friday morning, I decided to release this video on Saturday because it's not really relevant as to what day I release it. So you're probably seeing this video on Saturday, unless you're on Patreon or the Ladies and Gentlemen's Club. Anyways, ladies and gentlemen, there are so many things that I can talk to you about right now that you could and should be scared about, or at least worried about it enough that you start thinking about, what are my options in case this does happen? I'm not talking about nuclear war. Yes, there could be a nuclear war, but you're either going to be prepared for that or not. Do you have the basic preps? All right, because if there's a nuclear war, you're still going to need food. You're still going to need water. You're still going to need shelter. You're still going to need warmth. You're going to need medication. You're going to need those basic things. And then if you want to specifically prepare for a nuclear war, then once you have your basic preps, then you can branch out on getting iodine pills, on getting a CBRN suit or a CBRN mask, you know, or something like that. You can branch out. But at the very minimum, have your basic preps. Because it doesn't matter what the crisis is, you're going to need your basic preps, ladies and gentlemen. So I can sit here and try to scare the bejesus out of you on all the things that are happening right now. But I give it to you as I learn about them, because it's what I like to call actionable intel. Things are going to get a lot more expensive than what they are now. I was talking about the price of heating fuel on a previous video, maybe 2 or 3 videos ago, saying that in the beginning of summer, the price of heating fuel was like $3 even, is what I remember. And that it had gone up to $4.18, which was like a 39.3% increase in price, just over like a month and a half, 2 months. I just noticed it's $4.38, ladies and gentlemen. So it's a lot higher now. Right, things are going to get more expensive. What does heating oil have to do with things getting expensive? Well, it tells me that if heating oil is going up in price, and if Russia is not exporting diesel anymore, I'm assuming that the price of diesel has shot up. I think I saw the price of diesel at about $4.79 or something like that. Ladies and gentlemen, when the price of diesel goes up, guess what else goes up? Everything. Why? Because diesel equals the economy. All right, that's an equation that you can take to the bank. Economy equals diesel, or you can turn it around and say diesel equals economy. So the more that you pay for diesel, the more that you're going to pay for consumer goods and anything else that gets on a truck to be delivered, which is pretty much everything that you consume. So get ready for that, ladies and gentlemen. Get ready for this winter. I hope you've been getting ready for this winter. I told you all to start getting ready for winter back in March. Remember that? And I felt a little bit dumb in thinking, man, why should I tell them to start getting for winter now? It's just March. It's almost the end of winter. But I said it was either March or April, something like that. But I told you all, you need to start getting ready for winter now. And I think there was still snow on the ground when I told you all that. Why? Because that was the time that you could have gotten everything a lot cheaper than what it is now. and you're still going to use it. That's when you should have started getting ready for winter. But ladies and gentlemen, nobody's perfect. Absolutely not, right? So do the best that you can, right? Do the best that you can and stop complaining. For goodness gracious, stop complaining and just do something. For those of you that don't know, our live streams are every Friday now. During the summertime, where it's the height of the building season, I usually only do it once every other Friday, but now we're doing it every Friday. And then soon enough, once we are all settled in for winter and everything is taken care of for the winter time, we'll go ahead and make it to every Friday and every Sunday. All right, so hope to see you there when I start doing it every Friday and Sunday. But this time around, we'll see you next Friday. Have a great day, ladies and gentlemen. God bless every one of you. God bless America. I'm Alaska Prepper. I'm out.